Most new parents experience pain with breastfeeding. I've helped hundreds of new parents solve their breastfeeding problems. And if you're experiencing discomfort, you are not alone. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you how to prevent or solve the vast majority of latching pain problems. You can breastfeed without pain. When I first became a registered midwife, I noticed the same 5 mistakes coming up time and time again with new parents. These were causing shallow latch, transfer issues, and damaged nipples. But the good news, there's easy solutions to fix these. Most latching problems aren't caused by tongue ties, a baby with bad habits, or mom's flat anatomy. The real game changer, it's how you set up before you even latch. These tips use baby's reflexes to make breastfeeding easier and pain-free. If you'd like these steps laid out in a simple guide, I've created one just for you, and it's in the link below. Tip number 1, get comfortable. What if I told you that most latching problems actually start before you even have your baby latched on?
Really? Really?
Before you latch your baby, I want you to think about your setup. Are you sitting comfortably? If you don't feel like you're sitting comfortably, you're going to adjust your position over time. And what ends up happening is often we move, which ultimately disrupts baby's latch. When you get set up, I want you to think about, are my arms supported? Do I have something under my breast at my natural sitting height that will allow my baby to sit at the height of my breast? We don't want to be stooping down to baby or having to reach up in an awkward way. Ultimately, we will be uncomfortable and we will adjust away from that position. This one step prevents those 3 most common latching problems, and I'll show you how to do it in the next step. Step 2, follow the angle of the dangle. This one thing I see moms doing all the time, and honestly, it probably is the hardest one to stop yourself from doing. Naturally, we want to help our babies. And so what we often try to do is rearrange our anatomy.
Oh, just some light reorganization.
This tip is called follow the angle of the dangle. And what that means is you want to let your breast hang where it naturally falls. Many moms take their breast from its natural position and move it into the middle. That way, baby's in their sightline and they think it's easier to help get their baby latched. But what ends up happening is you get your baby latched. Maybe even you've achieved a really great latch. But over time, gravity is going to pull that breast where it naturally wants to hang, whether or not you let go of it or keep hanging on. What happens over time is the baby's latch becomes more shallow, pinchy, and causing those 3 problems we talked about earlier. What you want to do is anchor the breast where it naturally hangs. It may feel like it's quite out to the side, and if you feel like your nipple points down towards the ground, one of the best things you can do is get a small receiving blanket, roll it up, and tuck it under the breast to provide some elevation. Now this becomes your new anchor spot. Now hold your breast where it is and bring baby to the breast. This means that it may not be right below your nose. You may feel that the baby is out more towards the side, and that's okay. This small adjustment is actually key to a stable latch that will maintain being pain-free throughout the feed. I'll explain why in tip number 3. You've probably heard of tummy to mummy or tummy to tummy, but that's only part of the solution. Let's go deeper. All of baby's body needs to be lined up. What that looks like is having baby's bum rolled in. So yes, we are tummy to mummy, but more importantly, we have baby's ear, shoulder, and hip all in one line. What you may find is if you're experiencing pain over the course of your feed, is that baby's hips have actually brought that line away from your body and baby's tummy is now facing to the ceiling. You'll be surprised what a big difference just rolling those hips in can make and checking on them frequently throughout the feed. Remember that awkward breast position we talked about in number 2? This is what makes it all come together. Here's one thing no one tells you, and it is a game changer and ultimately makes your baby's reflexes work with you. Pressing the back of baby's head actually triggers a reflex to make your baby's head push away. We want to do our best not to trigger that while we're breastfeeding. Instead, what I want you to do is picture placing the heel of your hand between your baby's shoulder blades and your thumb and your forefinger gently behind the bumps on the back of your baby's ears or the bony spot right behind your baby's ears. What that does is it allows your baby to be snug into their breast with their chin into your breast and support for the head without triggering that pullback reflex. This gives them stability to pull back their head and facilitates the chin into the breast. Finally, the secret to the deepest latch is called hug the breast. This is something that I see moms do all the time when they're trying to help their babies. Again, going back to that earlier tip, we try and help our babies and we actually get in the way. And that can be so discouraging as a new mom. So use this tip and it will help you get the stability from baby so that those reflexes can do their job. And what I see so often is that moms take this bottom arm and wedge it between them and baby. What ends up happening is your baby is like this. Have you ever tried to chug a glass of water with your arm wrapped around your neck? It's really tricky to tip your head back and get a wide gape. What I want you to think about is having those arms wide, one arm under the breast and one arm on top of the breast. That does two things. It makes sure you can maintain that ear, shoulder, and hip alignment, and also make sure that baby is as close to the breast as possible, which allows for that chin to lead into the breast and trigger that latching mechanism that I talk about in this short. My goal is to help 1,000 families on YouTube breastfeed successfully. If this has been helpful to you, hit that subscribe button. Now that you know how to get a pain-free latch, this is a great video to watch next.